This is going to be one of a couple of lectures. This will be the only one with audio. It'll deal with sponsorships. I'll post a couple of other lectures that deal with promotions, which is the other aspect we're covering this week. So loose definitions of sponsorship, it's a relationship between an organization and a product, and they're trying to both derive benefits, meaning that somebody is trying to use a relationship with a sponsor to promote objectives, and the other side is trying to generate some kind of value, whether that be money or in kind. So several things that can be derived out of a relationship with a sponsor could be opportunities to sell merchandise, could be media time, could be endorsements, could be logo placement, could be hospitality opportunities, could be access to websites and social media. So there's a lot of things going on within the process of sponsorships. And sponsorship fits a lot within all the different aspects of the marketing mix. So it can fit within promotion, it can fit within place, it can fit within price. All of the 5 P's, sponsorship has a role in all of those. The key part one of the most important parts of the sponsorship is the actual activation of the sponsorship. And this is where I think a lot of smaller organizations really struggle with this. The activation is actually all of the marketing activities that go into the sponsorship. Okay. And so basically the sponsorship or the activation is bringing the sponsorship to life. So in other words, you're an organization, let's say you're a college athletics program, and you have a sponsorship with a local car dealership. Whatever the marketing activities involved between you two, those are the activities that bring that sponsorship to life, because you have to provide value to whoever's sponsoring you. So if they're giving you $500, you have to give them $500 worth of value through activation, meaning access to social media, hospitality, maybe in-person media or social media mentions, in-person engagement. And so the money spent on activation is about 2 to 2.5 times what the actual sponsorship is worth. Okay, it's the most important part. And so the reason people, are involved in sports sponsorship is it's a way to help businesses get return on investment or return on their objectives. It allows them to partner with an organization or with a sport that meets their common values or objectives of their business. So these are just kind of a list of what some common sponsor objectives are. It could be increasing public awareness, maybe changing public perception of a brand or a company, helping a company target certain target markets. Maybe it's community involvement, building goodwill, generating media, helping them achieve sales objectives. Maybe it's showcasing a product, getting an advantage over a competitor, maybe giving an opportunity to entertain other people in their business or their employees. And it could be at the highest level, getting naming rights. So this is just kind of some data that shows basically the top really things that decision makers look at in terms of sponsorship objectives. So the number one is to create visibility or awareness, then brand loyalty, reinforce image, and drive retail traffic. This is going to differ for every organization. So basically the way to think about this is essentially there's a fee changing place between a sponsor and a property. And so that fee might be money, or it could be in kind, meaning something that has value but's not money. And in turn, that property is going to provide that sponsor with entitlements. They're going to give them whatever the value is, they're going to give that value to them in things that will help them meet their objectives. And so a lot of people struggle with the activation. Like I said before, they don't really know how to, they understand the concept of sponsorships, but they don't understand how to make a sponsorship come to life. And social media is really starting to become really one of the top activation strategies for sponsors. And that's a good thing because social media doesn't cost us a lot of money. But as we've talked about the last couple of weeks, there are a lot of small organizations that are really struggling on how to use social media the correct way. And so you have to understand that as a customer, they're looking for a bunch of different ways to have access to, from online to tickets to behind the scenes access to on-site signage. Tons of things go into this. So when we start to sell a sponsorship, this is the most important part of this lecture, and this is where small organizations lose it. They have no clue. Here's what you're going to see most common in sponsorships is you're going to see somebody come up with sponsorship package that says something like this. Hey, this is our goal sponsorship package. With that sponsorship package, you get your logos, signage. They give you a whole list of things you're going to get. And that's how it's been done for 30 years. Here's the problem. By doing that, you're pigeonholing an organization and you're assuming that you know what's best for their organization, which is completely wrong. This is how we should do it. We should make a list of everything we have available that we could provide a sponsor. Then we should put a price on each of those items. Then from there, we should basically put a package together for each of our potential sponsors based on what's best for them. Okay, what is best for their organization, not what we have pre-packaged. So in other words, an organization may not care anything about their logo being on a sign. They may want to have hospitality opportunities. They may care about social media. So we need to list what we have available to them, almost like a menu, and allow them to build their sponsorship package based on what's good for them. And so as we start to sell sponsorships, we want to look for all types of companies. And we want to be smart about the way we do this. We don't want to have 2 insurance companies or 2 car dealerships. We want to pit those people against each other to become the official car dealership or the official insurance agency. So we have to use that leverage to our advantage. And so just kind of some step-by-step processes. We always want to start with research. We want to look for prospects within different sponsorship categories. We want to schedule a meeting with them, have a meeting, have a preliminary talk and arrange a follow-up meeting based on what we learned from them. Then we want to create a proposal to them based on what they tell us. Okay? We want to go in, show it to them, present it to them. Then we want to negotiate with them. And then once we come to an agreement, we want to come up with a way to make that thing come to life. Meaning we have to have activation in there. And part of this is we have to be good at telling our story and the organization's story, the sponsor's story. Meaning we have to know what we have to offer somebody. What are our different social media platforms? How many people can they reach? How are we going to make the sponsorship come to life through activation? And we have to create a method to be able to deliver on what it is that we are promising. And when you figure this out and when organizations figure out how to do this, this is when even small organizations can start generating substantial amount of money. Okay, and that's kind of the goal of this. Obviously, there's some ethical issues to think about with sponsorships. We want to look at how much we expose potential athletes to, and how those athletes act in the community. And we also want to look at the kind of people we sponsor and partner with. Okay, do we want to be involved with alcohol? And this is completely determined by your organization, who you're willing to take money from. But understand, it's a critical part of both organizations from one side or the other. And we have to learn to do this and understand what we have to offer a potential sponsor and how we intend to make that come to life. And that's something you guys are going to do in your last assignment.